Hey everyone, welcome to this week's $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here, and as you can see, they're Federal Reserve wrapped. So it was a pain getting them rewrapped and put back in there to make it look good, but there it is. I did it. I went through these 1,000 already, pulled out all the good stuff, and we'll go through those in a moment. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. I know in the past I've talked a little bit about stacking silver and getting silver coins or silver bullion, but there are other things to stack, namely gold. Most people think that gold is a little pricey and it's a little out of reach, and it's very difficult to get a stack of gold. Well, don't think of it in terms of building a stack, because there are ways to get gold that are, well, not quite as expensive as buying an ounce of gold or a 1 ounce gold coin. And for that, let me just bust out the red book here, just to show you. You guys all know the red book. I'm sure most of you guys are more into coins than I am, so you're quite familiar with this. But they do have a whole section on gold coins. When you think of gold, you always think of the 1 ounce, $50 1 ounce gold coin. That's your standard issue bullion coin, but they do make smaller coins. There's the $25 half ounce coin, which is an eagle. This would be the double eagle, of course. They have a 10 ounce coin, or $10 quarter ounce coin, and they also have a $5 coin. 1/10 of an ounce. So 1/10 of an ounce of silver, or 1/10 of an ounce of gold, that's like, that's, much more doable than trying to buy a full ounce of gold. Not everybody has $1,400, $1,500 sitting around, but if you have $100, $150 and you wanted to put into gold, that would be one way to do it. Now, the hint, though, is when you go to a coin shop and they show you gold, like the gold coin here, you want to make sure that the price that they're quoting you is a bullion price, not a numismatic price, because all these coins, of course, have numismatic value. But much like the case of silver, you can also get junk gold. So make sure that you're getting the quote-unquote junk gold when you're buying gold, because, well, gold is gold. Why pay a premium? Just like I said with silver last week. Why are you paying a premium on silver? Do you want silver at $16.80 an ounce, or do you want to pay $20 an ounce for that same ounce of silver? It's just silly. Anyway, that's my tip for this week. Find out if you are paying bullion or if you are paying numismatic prices, and you'll be able to buy gold with a little bit more rationale in your purchase. All right, here's my $1,000 in singles. Already gone through those, and we'll take a look at what I found. Now, these notes, because they came from the Federal Reserve, have very little writing on them, so I know I'm probably not going to find anywhere as George bills. But I also know that all the bills that I find are going to be in really good shape, because if they weren't, the Federal Reserve would take them out of circulation, shred them, and reprint new bills. So I kind of like getting these because I know anything I find is going to be at least in a good enough condition to want to keep. The first one I found here is a trinary. This one's 1s, 6s, and 9s, and it's one of those elusive flippers. It's 1s, 6s, and 9s either way, upside down or right side up. Not exactly a perfect flip, because you've got the 2 9s here, and when you flip it, it would start with 2 6s instead of just the 1 6 here. But still, a flipper nonetheless, 1s, 6s, and 9s, and it's a 2017, so I thought that was neat. Found another trinary, 1s, 3s, and 7s, and another one, 1s, 2s, and 4s. This one was 1s, 3s, and 5s, and this was an older one. This one is from 2003. This one's 2s, 5s, and 6s. Did find quads. This one was quad 8s. I think it was the only quad that I ran across, because this one here is actually 5 5s. It starts off with 5 5s. And those were the only 2 serial numbers I found with multi levels like that. Did find a number of stars. This one's from 2017. And, of course, these will go into my stack, and once I get 100 or 2 of those, I'll go through those on mycurrencycollection.com. More to come on that, by the way. Let's see. More stars here. All these, I believe, were 2013. Some of them get to be fairly low numbers. but they're all in decent shape. And once again, that's one of the things I like about getting bills that are still strapped from the Federal Reserve. Here's one of the lower number ones that I found. Still a 2013, starting with 2 zeros. So that's less than a million. That's 630,290 if you're looking at that as a number. So I always view that as having potential. And that's not always the giveaway, but low numbers are always neat to have. This has a little bit of a mark on it. This is just an overstamp from the bank. A bank teller stamped this bill when it was on top, and of course they missed the strap. So there's a little bit of runoff there. Another fairly low number, and then we get to the older bills. Not a whole lot of old bills, as I wouldn't expect, but the old bills, like I said, from Federal Reserve straps are in fairly decent condition. This one's from 1999. This one's an 88A. No, it's not a web note. And this one is a 1988. And this one is still very crisp. It's in extremely good shape for a 1988. I've had numerous people contact me and tell me that 88s are a lot harder to find than you can think. Usually if you find an 88, it's an 88A. This one, as you can see, 1988. So yeah, it's not like you have the opportunity to demand a a brick like this, but when you can get those Federal Reserve bricks, you can usually find some good stuff. Now, you'll notice that these bricks here are obviously all searched, and you usually want to get these because, well, I went through 1,000 bills, and this little bit is all that I found. So imagine if these were all uncirculated bills. If these were all uncirculated bills, that means all I'd have to do is look at the top, flip through to see if there are any star notes, and then look at the bottom, and I'd be able to decipher if there were any bills like I found here, if there are any trinaries, if there are any multiple, if there's quads or 5 of a kind or anything like that. I'd be able to go through this whole thing in about 2 minutes. However, sometimes when you get lucky, the bank will do that for you. That's what I'm bringing out this week. My bank knows that I collect things. My bank knows to be on the lookout for stuff. I'm always good to them. They always think of me first. They even have my phone number and my card. So, with the holiday season coming up, they ordered a ton of money because they wanted to have brand new, fresh bills so that people could get fresh, crisp bills to put in cards so it looks nice. Nobody wants to put a ratty old bill in there. I mean, money's money, but people are funny that way. So the bank went and ordered a lot of brand new bills. In fact, they said, the teller told me, we ordered too many, which always perked my interest. And the teller said, but I noticed something about one of the bills, and you might be interested. So I had to ask, and this is what she pulled out. She pulled out a brand new stack of 10s. She took these out of the Federal Reserve seal, had to run them through, and then resealed them in here. So they have gone through, and it's funny because if you look side by side how thin this is compared to how thick this is, I don't know if you can appreciate the difference in size of circulated to uncirculated bills, but yeah, these here are uncirculated $10 bills. Of course, being uncirculated $10 bills, they are all in order, but that's not what makes these bills so impressive. What makes these bills so impressive is that it is an uncirculated batch of 100 $10 bills in numerical order, and every single one of them is a star note. That's right, my bank saved a strap full of star notes in order. 100 $10 bill star notes. So I, of course, had to find out what I could about these. So I went to, let's see if I can get this up here, mycurrencycollection.com. See if I can get that on there. There it is. I don't know if you can see that real well. This came from a print run of 1.152 million. 1,152,000 is all that was printed in this particular batch. Now, yes, there was a shorter batch that only had 128,000, and I wish these were part of those, but unfortunately it's not. But still, this is out of 1.1 million. And if you notice on the arrows up here, you've got less rare to more rare. This one is in the middle as far as rarities go. So I thought that was extremely interesting, that this particular thing was not out of 3.2 million, but only out of 1.1 million. So the question then becomes, first and foremost, what's it worth? I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I wish I had an answer to that question. I know it's worth $1,000 because 10 $100 bills is $1,000. But above and beyond that, what's it worth? I'll leave it to you guys in the comments. I noticed that it is a J note. J is, was that Kansas City, I believe? They do not print a whole lot of notes. So I know it's one of the more rarer Federal Reserve branches. But yeah, I don't know what to make of this. I knew that I had to buy it because you just don't get a strap of uncirculated star notes still in numerical order. But yeah, I got it, and I don't know what to do with it. It is tying up $1,000 of my money, but it is something that's extremely cool to have. I'm eager to see what you guys write in the comments section as to what I should do with it. I know some of you will say put it on eBay, but I really don't want to put something like this on eBay. That's just, I would have trust issues dealing in denominations that large. Anything that's 4 digits, I try to make sure all my purchases are done in person. But yeah, that's what I got from my bank, and I was so excited. I got this about an hour after I filmed last week's video, and I've been sitting on it ever since. So there it is. My strap of $10 bills, Series 2017, right there. Series 2017, numerical order, all star notes, $110 bills. All right, guys, if you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, and be sure to comment down below to help me figure out what I should do with this. I'll be looking forward to reading your comments, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.